What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my FanDuel single-game breakdown for Thursday Night Football's game between the Los Angeles Chargers, which is so difficult to say, it's just naturally San Diego to me, and the Las Vegas Raiders. It's insane. It's just these two teams don't belong in the spots that they are. It's not important. We'll keep going. Anyway, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. I'll post them in like the 6 to 7 p.m. window tonight. And finally, let me know in the comments section, who are your favorite options at MVP and at Flex for tonight's slate? The high-level stuff. Average fantasy points in the optimal winning lineup, 106.2. The median salary used, $59,500. You can pretty much put together any combo today. 2.4 Chargers, 2.6 Raiders in the optimal lineup, so a pretty even split. Raiders are 3-point favorites at home with a 53.5-point game total. It's time to dive in to the MVPs. And it wouldn't be FanDuel if we weren't starting at the top with the quarterbacks. Justin Herbert, 16,000. He is my top MVP option. Shows up in the optimal 33% of the time. We do have public ownership right now, and I will say that I like Herbert a little bit more than the public as of right now. We'll see where that goes as we get closer to lock, but he is the clear top option. Coming in just behind him, though, Derek Carr, 15K, shows up about 21% of the time in the optimal. So you're going to see both quarterbacks just north of 50% combined for the MVP spot. That's a little bit lower than what we've seen as of late, which opens you up to a couple different possible MVP options if you don't want to go to the quarterbacks. One could be Keenan Allen. No surprises there. 14K, shows up about 12% of the time. You could also go to Austin Eckler, save another $500, shows up about 10% of the time. Those are the only teams, or only guys rather, that are north of that 10% threshold. Only other guy that I think is picking up a lot of love would be Josh Jacobs. 13K, shows up about 8% of the time. Ownership is already there, so I'm not overly enamored with him, but those would be my top 5 guys. But we're starting with Herbert, who I think is the best option. Carr, Allen, Eckler, Jacobs. We're just working our way down the salary tier, but unfortunately, that's exactly how the percentages break out. Now at the flex spot, it's a little bit different. My partner in crime, Adam Scher, and I have talked a little bit about the quarterback in the flex spot if they're particularly expensive. This is another spot where I think this is a bit of a problem. I like Justin Herbert as a flex opportunity, but it's a lot easier to just roster him at MVP where I think he'll be a little underrepresented. So while I do like Justin Herbert in the flex spot, don't be afraid to be a little bit lighter. The guys that I do really like at flex, Austin Eckler, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Nelson Agholor. Hard to separate between these guys. They're all about 35% to be in the optimal lineup, but they're all projecting a little bit lower from an ownership perspective. That is a core area in salary that I'm going to be focused on tonight. We can work our way down a little bit further. Go to 9K, Michael Badgley. That would be my preference from the kicker spot. Shows up about 28% of the time. And then the biggie, the key pay down option, in my opinion, 7,500, Hunter Renfrow. Got him projected for 8.4 fantasy points. We know there's no rugs. I have him in the optimal lineup. Get this. This is the number one guy at the flex, 38.8% of the time. He makes everything work. Salary's low. The projection makes him seem like he should be $2,000 more expensive, but he's not. Public ownership doesn't appear to be there yet either. I think Hunter Renfrow is clearly the best flex option on the slate. You can go a little bit lower. I've got guys in like this 5 to 10% range. Guyton, Balaj, Tyron Johnson, Brian Edwards, Jalen Richard. All these guys look pretty similar. I don't see a scenario where I can sift through them with any sort of confidence, so I would just have more and more Hunter Renfrow. As we work our way back up to the top, I didn't say anything about Derek Carr, but he's sort of in the same boat as Justin Herbert. Play a little bit more at MVP than on the flex spot. Now, luckily, I can talk a little bit about fades because I do have public ownership right now. Austin Eckler, in my opinion, going a little bit over-owned in the MVP spot. And obviously, buyer beware here. We've got a lot of time before ownership updates, before we get some projection updates. So you do want to pay close attention to my sim results later on tonight. But for right now, being a little light on Austin Eckler at the MVP spot, fine by me. I'd also like to be pretty light on Nelson Agholor, who's picking up a little bit of ownership. I don't really see that. I mentioned it before. Play more Justin Herbert in the MVP spot than in the flex spot. I don't think he's as efficient there. One of my least favorite plays in the flex. Not that I don't like Herbert. He's in the optimal more than anybody, but I'd rather have him at MVP. Similar story for Carr, just a slight step back because he's only 15K. Makes it a little bit easier to fit him in. I actually think Keenan Allen, same sort of scenario. I'd rather have a little bit more at MVP than I would at flex. After that, it looks pretty good. Most of it is all coming from the top end. I don't have anybody working my way down the line that I would aggressively want to fade. Like I would probably be pretty light to non-existent on Devontae Booker, but that's not exactly like a sexy pick, so I'm not worried about that. It's mostly just play more quarterbacks in MVP, play less quarterbacks in the flex spot. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my FanDuel single game plays for tonight's game between the Chargers and the Raiders. One last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when everything goes live. You got to keep your eyes peeled to my Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get the updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. Finally, look around. There should be a DraftKings link around here somewhere. I do this video for FanDuel and I do it for DraftKings, so if you're playing on both sites, you're in luck. You've got content for both. I will be back for whenever it is that the NFL is playing games again. If there's a game tomorrow, I'll have showdown videos. I'm definitely doing videos for this Saturday. I believe there's a 2-gamer on Saturday, so keep your eyes peeled for an abbreviated top 5, and good luck tonight. I'll talk to you guys later. I will be on NFL Live Before Lock with Adam Scher breaking it all down.